Seriously! On Bit on the Side, things got dirty.
Tosser, bullshitter, bitch and twat.
The audience had their say.
Julie Goodyear will be the last one standing because she stirs the shite all up.
Jamie had a word with Janet.
You did it, girl! I love you!
Whilst Nana was raving it up.
Look at the state of that. Go on, love. Go on, Janet, you sexy bitch.
Bonnie Tyler made a shameless plug.
But I have finished an album in Nashville this year, which will be out quite soon. I love it!
Danica got a gift from her wish list.
Your nipple colours, yes.
And 1980s pop superstars 5-star made a revelation.
Has it really been 17 years?
Yes, it has. 17 years.
It's Bit on the Side.
Just like a plunger, we deliver the best exclusives by sucking up to the big wigs on the main show. Yes, we do. Right, OK, the summer holidays are over and it is back to school. So don't let the teacher catch you at this. Make sure you don't misbehave like this. And you'll be straight to detention if you're anything like this.
I'll be there yet, I'll be there yet, I'll be there yet.
Really annoying. But on the side, though, educating the nation one clip at a time. Now, shall we meet our learned panel? Yay! My first guest is my teacher's pet. She's the head girl, she gets straight A's, and she's absolutely fabulous. It's Helen Lederer. If he were to go back to school, he'd definitely be the president of the Glee Club. It's Johnny Robinson. And finally, every year you get that loud-mouthed joker who people usually laugh at rather than with. It's class clown Jamie. I love you, really. I love you, really.
Thank you.
So yesterday, the House nominated for the 5th time. Who would you guys have nominated? Oh, of course you would.
What a crap photo.
Here is a recap.
Good afternoon.
Toes.
Please be gentle with me.
Let me just think quickly.
My first nomination is Prince.
Prince Lorenzo.
Michael.
Julie.
Julie.
Julie. Julie.
Really?
Me and him will never see eye to eye.
The other charge is general dullness.
I love him to pieces.
I think Julie's fake.
She is your best friend, but behind your back, she stabs you.
She's a game player.
Canvassing for nominations.
He's ready to leave.
My second nomination is Martin.
Martin.
Is Martin.
My second nomination is really hard.
Nana Julie.
Miss Harvey.
Prince.
Julian.
For asserting his authority over me in unnecessary ways.
I kind of want to shove a rocket up his ass.
Bloody hell. I think he's missing his family a lot.
For lighting up an electronic cigarette.
I quite accept it.
I don't have a great deal in common with a human calculator.
And childish, immature.
He's got a sore throat now and he's got indigestion.
She's changed her shades.
It was kind of disrespectful for everyone else.
That's all.
The situation may leave the naughty step.
What up?
Julie, Martin and Prince Lorenzo are facing the public vote this week. Helen, are the right people up?
Well, I'm surprised at Martin. Lorenzo, obviously, he's going to go because a human calculator. He has done a business degree, but he's emotionally completely flat, doesn't seem to understand anything, just really thick.
Yeah, no, why isn't Colleen up?
I don't understand
So
it.
you think
Or have I
Colleen
missed
should be
something?
up? Are you surprised that Julie's up?
Well, it was going to happen, but I think she'll survive. I think she'll
Do you think
survive.
she'll survive? Johnny, any surprises for you in those three?
No, not really. I thought those three would have been up. But I don't want Julie to go because I quite like Julie.
You're a big Julie fan,
Yeah,
aren't
I think she's sort of like spiced it up a bit. She's been very entertaining. And I think just keep your paws up, Julie, because you're born this way, baby. And she should stay there.
Don't sing it.
Don't
No,
sing
she
it.
likes leopard print.
Any surprises for you guys? No. Oh, Coco's here, everyone. Coco's as regular as Jamie is on this show
It's
now.
about time that Julie Goodyear got caught out, and she got caught out lovely, but I think she should go along with Martin, and the real triangle will start with Julian, the situation, and the prince. Put them in a diary room with a lovely meal, a lovely spit roast or something like that. Put them in there and give a nice cream pie after. Julie's going. She's going. Absolutely.
Should we ask somebody else in the audience? Are any of you guys surprised at who's up this week? I know I can always be like, you seem shy this evening. I think we've got lots of newbies in.
You see, I'm a bit surprised about Martin being up, but you know, I know Julie is such a character and you know, been so feisty. I know she'll survive. But Lorenzo, there's no surprise there, I'm afraid. I think that he is really boring as a person, so I'm sure he'll be going home first.
Will he though, or won't he? Jamie, Nana started off as the favourite, so what do you think went wrong for her?
We can sum it up on tonight's show. The 10 seconds summed up Julie down to a T, where she was walking in to nominate, walked up to the situation, gave him 2 kisses, told him he loved her, told him she loved her, and walked straight into the diary room and nominated. That is why she's up for eviction. And quite right too.
But everybody's doing it, Jamie.
But not
Everybody.
as blatant as that.
That's what I was going to say.
She's
Julie
an
was
actress.
sat there, Harvey went and kissed her, somebody else, Colleen went and... Nice do. You've got a new hairdo today. Colleen went and nominated her as well. It was all very weird, wasn't it? The whole reaction
I think
that
they're
Julie
all
gave.
really fake. And there's Colleen saying, oh, you know, you've just got to call it. You've got to, I can't do the accent, but you've got to tell it how it is. Yeah, I might attempt to do it. But I mean, I think they're all having to gameplay. So why they're accusing each other of doing the thing that they have to do to even... They want, you know, that's their currency.
Julie's thing is where she pretends she doesn't even know she's doing it. That's the thing for me. She
Hold on. So go on.
I don't want to disagree with you, Jamie, because I love you.
No, you carry on. You carry on. Everyone else does.
Are you two together?
Yeah.
Are you worried at all at this right now?
What? I didn't hear that.
Nothing. It was very funny.
Honestly, I don't think she knows she's playing a game. The majority of 70-year-olds her age are just gossipers and bitches, though she doesn't know.
You can't tarnish every 70-year-old with the same brush.
My nan goes down to her mates and has a gossip and a bitch. It's just what happens. She's not playing a game. She is just
So you
a
think
bitch.
she's being just Julie?
I think she is, yeah.
She is the centre. She is the centre of her own universe. I have to say, I have done calendar girls with her. I have got a past. We do have a past. And I have got a book, but then I gather so have you. I haven't read
Just
it.
Julie. 99p.
99p?
eBay. 99p.
But Julie is an actress.
Other websites are available to buy books from. Sorry, go on, Helen.
Well, Julie's an actress, and I think it was said by the lovely Mark, Dr. Mark, that she doesn't live in the moment. So I think she obviously has got a tongue on her. But then so have they all.
Yeah, we saw it around that banana.
Yeah. Slightly challenging. I'm not going to defend her completely, but I just think that her and Colleen are two middle-aged or two older women who are in competition. So this is going to keep Colleen in or get Colleen out.
OK, we saw her say this evening that she was going to struggle to be polite to the two-faced bastards that had nominated her this morning. Would you like to see how she acted with them when she woke up?
Yeah. I'll never forget Zeus and Aphrodite. As long as I bloody live.
Well, we'll always have that in common.
What?
That was a nice memory.
I'll go and have a look what time
It was a nice memory, that.
Love you. Gorgeous.
Johnny, what do you make of that?
She's just gorgeous, isn't she? It's just the leopard print. I just love it. But no, well, I don't know, really. You know, it's a kiss of death, wasn't it, really? A bit like Goldfinger.
Possibly, or it might not. Let's move on to Martin. He is facing the public vote for the very first time. Helen, were you surprised to see Martin up there?
Well, listening to the diary room, I think that obviously he's clashed. He's clashed with Julian because he told him to put his fag out, which is a bit irritating. Or, you know, it's just personalities getting tighter and tighter in this tiny microcosm that, you know, any little thing. So they've clashed, and the boys, Ham, want the avuncular. He's not fatherly, he's avuncular, which sounds a bit rude, but
do you think they think he's a threat? Because he's quite popular. When he walked into the house, they called him King Kemp. It all went deftly quiet when he walked in there because no one could quite believe that they were there with him.
He's got charisma and he knows what he's doing, and obviously they would want to get rid of him. The gang is going to get rid of him, and Julian's going to get rid of him. So, I mean, it's nothing he's done. It's just inevitable.
Okay.
They're going to get rid of him.
I was quite surprised that Colleen nominated him, Jamie. She said that he brings her down. Did you?
Which doesn't take a lot, really.
Did you? Did you
It's just like
expect that of
cheese.
him? Because you obviously got to meet them all before they went into the house, and you've chatted with them. And...
Yeah. I'm not quite sure. I think Helen's right. I think he's left it his game plan. He said his big thing was he always had a game plan and he was in it to win it. I think he's probably now decided that now's the time for him to raise his head above the parapet. The thing with Julian with the electronic cigarette was possibly the only thing that he's done to kind of cause any friction with anybody else, and it's the first thing that's done that's caused him to be up for eviction.
And then he was worried he'd upset people, wasn't he? He said, "Have I said anything?" He was really upset.
I think it's too little.
He did
too
talk
late.
about this game plan, didn't he? And he said he was going to mix it up if it was boring.
Yeah.
Do you think this has been his game plan?
Well, if he's
flag out.
He's always watched Big Brother. He's a massive. Whoa! What the hell is that?
Is that a really big moth or a really small bat?
I'm going to pretend.
Whatever it is, if it hits me in the face, I'm going to really embarrass. Yeah, I know, it's massive.
Fanta, kill it.
Let's try and carry on, because we've got to get to the Prince as well.
I think he's always been a massive Big Brother fan, and if he's a Big Brother fan as much as he says he is, he'll know that people who keep their head down
will go
straight the way through to the final. So I think that was his game plan.
OK, let's move on to the Prince then. He's up for the second time in a row. Do you think he'll survive this week, Jamie?
Absolutely not. It's a double eviction. You're up against Martin Kemp and Julie Goodyear. You're toast.
Helen, he was called the human calculator.
Yes.
What do you make of his personality?
Well, the calculator aspect might be his strength. It's not particularly winning. I just think he asked Martin whether the gold record on his wall actually played music, and Martin was going, no, it's the thing you put on the wall. He's just like, whoa. So, no, and I didn't like the Danica. I know we can't go back, but I didn't like him and Danica. I'm sorry, I wasn't happy with that at all.
Helen has quite strong views on Danica.
Very strong.
But that
and
is
can
the
I just
past.
ask for a charity to be suggested for all Danica's duplicate mini gyms? They need to go to a charity, Danica.
She doesn't need them all, does she?
She doesn't.
She could donate some. Right, you've probably heard just about enough from all of us and this bat/moth thing that is going around the studio. If you're dying to have your say, get in touch via Twitter or through the website. All the details should be on your screen right about now. First, we know who's up, but who is going to go? Here are all the numbers you need to save your babe. This week, Julie, Martin and Prince Lorenzo all face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 0901 61617 and add the number of the housemate. From a mobile, call 65058 and add the number of the housemate. For Julie, add 08. For Martin, add 09. For Prince Lorenzo, add 10. Calls cost no more than 36p from BT landlines or any mobile. Calls from other landlines may vary. Voting closes in Wednesday's show. Votes cast after the lines close won't count. For full terms, go to channel5.com/BBVote. next week, we'll all be in bed recovering from the exclusive wrap party. Well, all of us except for Jamie, because he's not invited.
What is going on? Fuck you
ain't
all.
coming east, Speaking of exclusives, here's another one.
Like, she can't believe that she's been nominated. Like, she's above everybody.
She was angry
Everyone in
she
this
was
house,
nominated.
except for
We've all been
you two, have
nominated.
been blue.
Yeah.
But she feels she's special and should never be.
Yeah.
Really? Then don't talk crap
She
about
said
everybody.
today that she's just, all she wants is to get to the final. I just want to get to the final.
Yeah, she says, I just want to get to the final. She goes, I'm a 70-year-old woman, which said I deserve respect, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Just like...
Oh, no!
Look, let's just be really nice and smoke her fags.
No, that's fine.
But even with a microphone on her, she's attacking us in front of us, thinking that we're not going to find out.
God.
Now, I tell you when I've seen it, when she's been kissing and hugging someone like whoever, you know, oh, I love you, and you do make me laugh, and then that person's walked away and she said a really barbed, nasty comment, and I've thought, she hasn't known that I've seen it or heard it, and every time I've thought,
That's deep, man.
That's horrible.
Ooh, Lorenzo's speaking up now, isn't he? Panto. Now, we all love a boy band. I love them so much. I even married a member of one. And this year's Big Brother has brought us the newest act to hit the public. Yes, the creation of Ham, also known as Harvey, Ashley and Mike. Here to talk us through this band of brothers is the very lovely Dr. Pam Spur. Before we go on with this little chat, can we talk about Pam's top this evening? Does she not look sexy as hell?
Like, I call it the hooker look.
Okay. So, Dr. Pam, tell us about Ham. I like that.
Ham,
that little
I'll
thing.
tell you. You know-
was this the group that you expected?
Yes, because when you look at group dynamics, people are drawn together with the same social values, or they look for someone with maybe a slightly higher social value. So all three of them have street cred, they have youth with them, and they have alpha male characteristics. They also all have a key factor called being integrators. So they like to be bonded with other people. And
So they're not
unusual.
Lone Rangers. They're not going to go out
Lone
there
Rangers,
on their own.
they're integrators. Now, you take the one person who tried to dominate them, Julie. She's a classic dominator. She wanted to get in there, and she made a big mistake. She was going through what I call the Emperor's New Clothes syndrome, except, of course, she's the Empress.
Okay.
And that's where someone's put on a pedestal, as she was when she first came in, because she's a legend. And yet, if you fall victim to this syndrome, you buy into your own hype. And that means you start believing you can get away with anything, and the fall is very hard. So what happened, she didn't realize, is people start to see through her. So the Emperor's New Clothes are, of course, as we know, actually someone going without clothes. When they saw through that, she didn't realize it. She thought she was infallible. So Harvey was already removing himself from her when she dragged him.
He became suspicious, didn't he?
Exactly, and she didn't see it. And she dragged him in Friday night to talk about, let's nominate Prince. Big fall after that. When you fall to that syndrome, you have a big fall from that pedestal.
Okay, this little group they've formed, in doing that, are they isolating themselves from the rest of the house?
Well, that's only started recently because they have been, happy to listen to Julie. They've been happy to take Martin's guidance, and they've been happy even to take Colleen's guidance. You've got to remember that Ashley turned to Colleen after Rhian was evicted last Wednesday. But now that there's such a solid core, they're so integrated that now they are sort of starting to isolate themselves. They're becoming very loud about the fact that they are sort of brothers in arms.
Why haven't they included the other housemates? Is it a generational thing?
Well,
as far as the male housemates go.
Good question, but when you look at group dynamics, you also get, besides integrators and dominators, you also get the observers. Martin's a classic observer. He's kind of watched them form. An observer often has one foot in a group, and he does that. So he's been kind of their backbone, giving advice. Then you get the outsiders, who are usually not a threat to a core group. So, like the moth. You get Prince Lorenzo, he's an outsider. You get Julian, he's an outsider. Prince only became a threat to the group when the love triangle developed, and that's when they started to see him as kind of a threat to their guy, the situation.
Okay, well, talking of the love triangle, Danica said that she felt ganged up on by the boys and that she'd seen a slightly darker side of them during the Gods and Mortals tasks. Let's just have a quick look at that.
How would you react if your boyfriend was in Big Brother and slept next to a girl?
I don't wish to discuss that with you. It's a bit of a boring subject now.
So your boyfriend, he trusts you to hug other men?
I'm allowed to hug other men, yeah. It's not like I'm having a grope, is it?
Rian,
Yes.
stay in the diary room until further notice.
What do you make of that? Harvey being pretty...
Well,
it's quite frightening.
You look at social psychology experiments, and when you look at power in a group, it's intensified when a group is selected. So the gods were a subgroup. They were selected as special sort of beings for that task. What happens with power, and they're given that power to actually tell the housemates what to do, is they kind of end up egging each other on. So they see one of the gods do one thing, the next one has to kind of act on that and make it even bigger. So they weren't realizing that
So is it like one-upmanship?
It is, and it kind of sort of spins out of control. They saw it as a joke, not realizing it was getting quite near the mark for someone like Rian being sort of subjected to that.
Yeah.
But that's only a temporary sort of induced megalomania. You know, they're not complete megalomaniacs, and they won't stay like that permanently.
Is there a standout leader out of the three?
No, the thing is, Harvey and Mike are very much equals. They're very much co-alphas, but they have a different way of showing their sort of, their power. So with Harvey, you get sort of sort of territorial sort of behavior. He's quite extrovert. He's quite loud amongst the three of them. Mike is much more subtle. When he stakes his claim, it tends to be more subtle, except when he's telling everybody that he's been Googled like the 5th most Googled person in the world. That's not subtle.
I think you'll find it was 4th, actually.
Oh, was it 4th?
Yeah,
oh, my gosh, I downgraded him.
Justin Bieber was 5th.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think, was that right? Yeah.
So although Mike will say things like that which seem over the top, otherwise he's quite subtle within the three of them, but he still has power because he's got that social value that both Ashley and Harvey look up to.
Yeah, Ashley, I think, looks up to Harvey a lot, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. He is that junior alpha, and within the group, he's got his role where he's sort of. It's not like he feeds their egos, but he kind of gives them more power by the sense that they think he's cool. He's got that social value. So both Mike and Harvey really appreciate his social value, but he also kind of lifts their social value. He's kind of the underling. So yeah, I mean, he's well regarded within the group. He's got an important role like that.
This evening, we've seen them talking and getting quite excited about making it to the final. Let's have another look at it.
All I wanted was just to get to the finals, me, you, and Hall. That's it. And then we could sit back and...
Whatever happens, happens, bro. We don't care about it. As long as one of each other wins.
No, it's the finals. That's what it is at the end of the day.
It'd be nice for one of us to win, bro.
Congrats.
So, Pam, what are you seeing there that we may not be?
Well, what you're seeing, of course, is you see the behavioural signs that they have completely bonded. They're absolutely solid, and they almost genuinely don't care who wins. Of course, underneath, they want to be a top dog.
Yeah.
But really, they're so happy, and they're now such a solid group. I really think outside of the house, they will continue to be absolutely solid together. They've formed a real bond, though.
Are they untouchable by the rest of the house?
Well, they're not untouchable. I think the problem is with all their kind of band of brothers chat. It reminds me of like Dina talking about soldiers.
Yeah.
I think some of the younger viewers, their younger fans will appreciate that. It's very kind of strong imagery. But I think other viewers might think it's a bit arrogant, and maybe if they showed a bit more humility, then they would be untouchable.
So it could put some people off voting for them?
It could certainly.
So have to be careful.
Yeah, and certainly housemates like Julian and Martin stand a good chance because Julian has that razor-sharp wit.
Yeah.
But unlike Julie, he has set his boundaries, so he hasn't crossed certain boundaries. So I think he's remained incredibly popular. Martin, of course, the way he's kind of advised the group, kept the backbone of the structure there. I think, again, he's a threat to them too.
OK. Pam, thank you so much. Dr. Pam Fair, everyone. Coming up, you guys get to talk to Jamie. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but, each to their own. Plus, we'll be chatting about the approaching final. Very exciting. We'll see you in a bit. side. Don't you just love it when some of the housemates call Julie Nana? I think it's quite cute. It's a bit like when Alice and I refer to Jamie as Grandpa. Quite adorable. Right, let's get back to our brilliant panel and Jamie.
Talk to them.
He's a really good sport. Right, OK, so there's so many more to come, Jay, as well. We've got a double eviction heading our way on Wednesday, but there are 5 housemates who are already guaranteed a place in the final. Helen, they are behind you now.
They're there.
Are you surprised that any of these are in the final?
I'm very glad you asked me because, like Dr. Pam, I'm wearing the same outfit. We did have a chat about our clothes, and I feel that as I'm a quasi-psychologist myself, I should be wearing the black net. So I'm surprised. Am I surprised? Ashley Boyd turned good. I think he has a chance.
So not surprised?
Well spotted. I made a slight mistake, and I'm very pleased, and I'm not surprised.
Just to be straight, if anyone was
no, because I'm straight A. So I'm not surprised. I'm totally surprised about the situation. What is he doing there? The bag of spanners. What is he doing there? Julian, I need more of, but he has irony. He's the only person with irony. Am I right? There's nobody else who has irony.
We do need to see more of it, though. I thought we were going to see lots of it.
But am I wrong to want irony? Is it wrong to want irony?
Is it wrong to want irony?
No, not really, but...
Thank you.
He's been very quiet in the house, so...
He has.
Maybe he'll buck up his ideas for the last
he might be playing the long game, you see.
It's an ironic double bluff.
It's a yes, in that it's hidden and waiting for the irony to reappear. And then we've got Harvey. I like the way Harvey called Danica, so he can do no wrong for me.
Okay.
He called it like it was.
Okay.
And Colleen, well, if it's the 2 middle-aged women, so it's the fight of the middle-aged women.
OK, Johnny, any surprises for you in there?
Not really. I think that most of the youngsters are going to vote for, like, the situation and the judo player and all that lot. But I mean, he could give me a throw any day. I wouldn't mind that on the mat. But, I mean, I like Julian. It'd be nice as well to be in the final. I'd like to see him win.
These are all in the final.
Yeah, but to win. I don't want them three going through the centre to win. Julian and Colleen, but not the other 3. Harvey's all right.
Not Ham.
I don't like the way them boys are stuck together and congregated to sort of like stick up for my bro and all this lot. They need some elocution lessons in the Queen's English from Julian.
I was going to say...
They could have it from you when you come out.
Well, they could do.
You could do a little piece on the show. Jamie, how has Colleen ended up being the only woman with a guaranteed place in the final?
I think once Cheryl left, and once Julie started becoming the Julie that we now know and almost love...
Just Julie?
Just Julie. There was no one else. She had no other competition.
Right.
You know, you got Danica, Rhian and Samantha. You know, she's a loose woman, for God's sake.
What do you guys think of the guaranteed final 5 finalists?
Well, I'd just like to say, in the words of possibly Julian, I think Colleen's crept through the back door. And I certainly wouldn't be in the mood for dancing with her in the final.
Good, 2 gags.
So is that the one that you... I liked what you did there, by the way. It was very good. Is Colleen the one that you would least like to see? Well, I mean, she's there, but...
I think she really has crept into the final. I think there's other characters in there that, you know, because they've made a cock-up with how they've gone on with things, she's got in there, and she's not up for the final, is she, really? Come on.
Yes, she is. She's up for the final. I'll tell you why. Because that Julie Goodyear was gone in for her from day one, and the best revenge is served cold. And Colleen has made the final, and Julie's out the door because she's a shite star.
Anybody surprised by any of the other people in there?
No, because they're all nice.
No, because they're all nice. Let's leave it at that in the audience then, Coco. Johnny, why do you think Ashley's only ever received 1 nomination?
That's strange, isn't it? But he's not been too bad. He's not sort of gone around slagging anybody off. He's got no game plan.
He's just a nice guy,
He was just mesmerised
isn't he?
by the sexy girls that were in there, wasn't he, really? But then again, most of them boys were, because they think of their prick before their brains, don't they, really?
Yes, they do. Why do you think Julian has escaped nomination this week?
I think Because of what we said, he's still got in just a small glint of the kind of side glance to camera that he's always a step away from looking to the mirrors and just kind of tipping the wink.
He has been called Julie's right-hand man, though, and sometimes you can be guilty with association, can't you? And he seems to have escaped that.
You know, on launch night, who the hell else was he going to corner himself with? He had no one else to do, let's be honest.
And he's been very kind to her, and I don't think he's completely lost his balls. You know, he hasn't tipped over to the other side.
No.
He keeps his own counsel, and he's actually been kind. So I think it shows a good side of him.
What did you make to him tonight, Helen? You know, when Julie was kind of going nuts about being up for eviction, and he was.
He's been
comforting her,
circumspect, yeah.
humouring her. How do you think it was? Do you think he was a little bit like, come on now, it's going to happen to all of us eventually? Or do you think he genuinely agrees with her?
I think he was. I think he has this very intense look, and it's almost like he's a counsellor. He's kind of waiting till she's had her rant, letting her rant. I think he knows what he's doing. He's just offering her support. So I don't. They all have been up for it, haven't they? He was very shaken. I mean, it's clearly a phenomenon. If you are nominated, it's people at your peer group saying they don't like you, so you're going to react. That's human.
And as much as you think you would be fine going in there knowing what it's all about, it's got to be a bit odd, I would imagine. Jay, how has the situation survived twice?
I know teenage girls are a bit daft.
You are the voting public. How has the situation survived twice?
You know what? I love the situation. I think he's got such a good personality, and he's so funny, and he's not been two-faced or anything like that.
You need
That's
to
why I
meet
think
some
he's
more
still
men.
in there.
Do you think he's playing a game? I didn't until I saw tonight when they were talking about being in the final, and that was the point where I was like, you can't. There was a look about him that made me think maybe you're playing something here.
I think the big question is, Emma, could he be the first American to win a series?
On that note, I'll say thank you very much. So Julian is guaranteed a place in the final, but what happened when Jamie met his friends and family? Let's find out.
Celebrity Big Brother housemate Julian Clary is, of course, the king of the smutty innuendo and double entendre. But I'm not going to sink to that level. Instead, I'm going to talk to his writing partner and friend, David, and give him a full and deep probing session. David, lovely to meet you.
Jamie, such a pleasure.
I know. Thank you.
You know it's a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure. How did you feel about him going in?
We all told him not to. We told him not to go into the Big Brother house.
Right. Why?
Does he need it at this stage in his career?
Well, this is my question to you, because he's about to go on tour, though, shortly.
That's what finally swung it. He's got a tour starting on September the 14th.
Bading, ching.
And we're facing the problem that we'll have to rewrite the whole of the second act of the show, because people are going to want to know what really went on in the house. And the marvellous thing about theatre is that he can say whatever he likes.
Yes, good plug. That's a great plug. You're welcome.
Do you think that showed your full range of talents?
You've been his writing partner for 30 years now, right?
I was in a play with him in 1982. He's a pussycat. Yeah. He's lovely to work for, and I actually look forward to getting up every morning and writing a bit of filth for him.
And you two have written God knows how many double entendres in your time. How many do you think?
I've lost track.
Do they come quite quickly?
Nowadays, yes.
I started my career in the circus.
Oh, that was another one, wasn't it?
I was a human cannonball.
You could have that.
I used to shoot over the ringmaster's back.
Oh, very, very good.
So we've seen quite reserved Julian so far.
Yeah.
Stop it!
Do you think he's feeling a bit muted in there, or is he just waiting for his moment to strike?
It's a dirty protest.
I think everyone was surprised by the fact that Julian was not as he appears on TV.
I found him completely terrifying when I interviewed him before he went in the house.
Heat emanating from your groin.
Why?
It absolutely destroyed me.
Please don't touch me.
I'm shocked. Everyone loves Julian.
Oh no, I love him to bits, but he served me my own arse on a plate.
Please don't touch me. Don't attempt to touch me in any way.
As his partner,
steady.
as his writing partner, would you invest in the White Swallow? Does that sound like a hotel that you would want to spend much time in?
I wouldn't want the anal examination.
No.
But apart from that, I think it'd be huge fun.
Yeah. Sapphire in every room.
Him and Julie have struck up quite a friendship and a kind of double act.
Help. Could someone help us out?
Do you see Julie Goodyear as a bit of a threat?
We had a feeling that Julian was going to get on with Julie.
Yeah.
They bonded almost immediately.
What do you suspect? Are they going to be the final two?
If they're both not in the final, I will sit naked in your audience.
What a lovely rummage around Julian's undercarriage that was, and managed to do it without any sleazy innuendo whatsoever. Now, if you excuse me, I've got to go. I've got to go and bash the bishop. What? It's a vicar. We do boxing. All right, I'm just going for a wank. I look forward to seeing him sitting naked in the audience in January. Right, it's phone room time. Tonight's banned words are giving pensioners hope. There's no point. Who have we got on line one?
On line one, we've got Maggie from Northern Ireland.
Hello, Maggie from Northern Ireland. How are you?
Hello, Jamie. I'm great, thank you. I have spoken to you before.
I knew that. How are you again, Maggie? Nice to hear from you again.
Now, it's not nepotism. As you know, I'm related to Julian through dogs. But
oh, Christ, it's you, isn't it? Yes, hello.
Hello. Apart from that, I am absolutely begging everybody, I know he's not up for eviction, but vote for Julian. We haven't seen the right Julian yet.
Well, is biding his time? You know, he's leaving it quite late.
He is, but I definitely think there's some poisonous people, not mention any names in the house.
No, you feel free.
Dragged in, and I think when he watches it back, he will see that he's been sort of led astray, and he's not been allowed to be himself. When you see him in the diary room, he is so quick. He's gorgeous inside and out. He is so funny, and let a few other people go out. And you know, Julian can bridge the divide between young and old. His comedy is timeless. He's clever. He's the best person in the house. And vote for Julian.
Well, I hope you're in for a cut of whatever he's been paid to go in there. Thank you very much for your call.
You're very welcome.
Oh, jolly good. Who have we got on line two?
Next, we've got Audrey from Orpington.
Audrey from Orpington. It's like a riddle. A limerick, even. There once was an Audrey from Orpington. I'm not even going to go there. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Jamie. I'm fine. How are you?
Very good, very good. What are you up to?
I just want to talk about Colin, really. We haven't seen the happy-go-lucky, fun, bubbly personality that we always love her for in the house. And I think it's due to these situations that she's had to go through. But I think she's handled all these situations and scenarios really well.
OK.
She's remained calm and composed throughout.
Wow.
And she's given everyone, all the guys and girls in there, honest and practical advice.
Has she been honest with Julie?
She's been very supportive. Julie, what can I say about her?
Has she been honest?
I actually watched the show tonight, and I'm disgusted. She said that Colin should get her fat ass out of there, and the rest of them can rot in hell. I'm sorry, but I was actually going to keep my mouth buttoned tonight. But,
no, you go for it, gal.
But I am
Audrey,
totally
you give him hell.
with her. And I really just think that the voting should speak for itself Friday or whenever the next voting is. And I'm actually pleased that Colleen hadn't got any votes this week because she deserves it.
It's going to be a boost for her confidence.
She deserves to stay. Denise won last year. I'd love Colleen to win this year. You know, she's been a fantastic housemate and she's put up with a lot.
Can two loose women win in a row, though? We shall find out very, very soon. Thank you very much.
I hope so. Bye.
Bye. Oh, all right, see you then. Who've we got on line 3 or 4?
We've got Sean from Glasgow.
Sean, hello, Sean. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
Very good. Is it Sean or Sean?
Sean, S-H-A-N.
Okay,
my second name's Cam, so it kind of rhymes. Everyone kind of takes a mickey out of that.
Brill. What would you like to talk about, Sean?
It's just the fact that there's nothing really going on in the house. It's just not as entertaining as it was when it first came. I mean, because we saw like big characters like Danica and Jasmine. They kind of kept an eye on them mostly. I mean, but there's no one else except from Julie.
Jasmine was in for what, 3 days?
3 days, but she made such a big impact.
Yeah, I know, but my point is, what would she... You know, that's what she did in 3 days. What on earth will be going on there in the 3rd week?
Probably a fight, to be honest.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, we do.
You might do. We don't.
I can tell under that. But apart from that, if Julie went, there'd be quite a happy house, but nobody likes to watch a happy house, really.
No, nobody does, I suppose. We'd like to see a mix of both, I guess. But thank you very much for your call, Sean with a double A. That's all we have time for tonight. Emma, it's back to you.
Thank you very much, Jamie East. After the break, we'll find out why Martin and the Situation find waking up so hard. We'll see you in a bit. Now, we are a little bit like the Situation's abs. There's a lot of hype about us. We even have our own name, but we're actually just a little bit odd. Here's today's news. At 12:26 this afternoon, the Situation and Martin talk about their morning predicament.
I wake up horny as hell every day.
Sorry? You wake up horny?
I wake up horny every
Well, that's
day.
normal, isn't it?
Yeah, I have to say, yeah.
A young man of your age?
Yeah, I did last night as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's been a while for me. 3 weeks.
Only natural.
Yeah.
3 weeks is a long time for me.
It's even longer for Martin.
I had some nice dreams.
Good.
And with Julie in there, who wouldn't feel like that? At 2:10 this afternoon, Harvey and Ashley take advantage of the good weather.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Yeah, come on!
Oh, shut up. For God's sake.
Oh, Julie! Oh, Julie! Go!
What?
Go, Alessio!
Is he having a breakdown?
No, it's exuberant high spirits.
It's what?
High spirits.
Bloody hell.
Nana's got a knickers in a twist. At 2:35 this afternoon, housemates take part in their final shopping task.
For this week's shopping task, it's time to watch BBTV, the greatest channel on earth. Prince Lorenzo will become the narrator of the children's TV show, The Growlers.
Twitchy Growler went to brush his teeth with some super fresh fish gut toothpaste. Ooh. He loved the fishy taste in his mouth.
No!
Twitchy wanted to help his friend cool down. So Twitchy picked up a lovely bucket of cold custard and tipped it over the hot, itchy Growler. They climbed back into bed with each other. Itchy approached Twitchy from behind and gave one thrust and said night-night. The end.
Oh, sounds like child's play to me. So that was today's news. Come with me. Helen and Ian are in the sweaty box, guys.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, how you doing?
Good, you?
Good. Good. So, what is the general consensus online about nominated housemates?
Well, before we get to that clip you just seen in the news then,
Yes.
possibly my favourite task of a long, long time, and maybe all time, is that you can watch the full kind of exclusive website
There is nothing
version.
funnier than big characters thrusting.
Martin and Ashley were absolutely brilliant.
They
It
were
was
good.
really good, so you can watch it on
And
on
that task has continued all day, and the next part of the task we can show you an exclusive clip of right now.
Is this space bar? Yeah.
Yeah.
Harvey was talking to Prince Lorenzo about Julie, and he said, the way she's acting is a disgrace. She should be setting an example as a 70-year-old woman that has lived through the world wars.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Harvey looking just a little bit uncomfortable.
Awkward, yeah.
Also, factually, I'm not sure she's lived through both world wars. I think that's
Just
a
a
bit
disclaimer.
too much.
No, but you can watch that online as well.
Oh, yeah.
full, so.
There's loads of stuff on
We're
there.
exclusive.com.
Of course you
Not,
are.
that's not the
No,
website.
it's channel5.com/big
No, Helen, what are you doing? So what is the general consensus about who's up for eviction?
Well, Julie's taking a bit of a bashing online.
It's
as
Chuli,
expected.
hashtag Chuli,
Yeah,
I've been seeing
apparently.
that on Twitter, Chuli.
Joel Overton has got a theory about her. He says Julie has to be a plant. Not in the espionage sense. I mean, she breathes carbon dioxide and eats sunlight. It's bare jokes.
They're quite funny.
Yeah.
Okay. People are thinking though that she was up because they may have heard because the boos they heard last eviction.
Right.
People are thinking
Get
maybe
Julie
that's why.
Yeah.
Maybe surprised. But yeah, it's a real mixture. We always say that, but it genuinely is.
Okay. As always, Big Brother will be asking you, the evictees your questions, so get them in as soon as you can. That is it for this evening. Next on 5 is Hotel Inspector. Thanks to all of our wonderful guests this evening. Join me tomorrow when Nina Mishkov, Andrew Stone and Rodrigo will be here. Hopefully you guys will be as well. Have a lovely evening.